Various blood-sucking monsters exist beyond Dracula. The chupacabra, a legendary creature in Latin American folklore, is known for draining livestock's blood. Mythology worldwide features diverse beings with a thirst for blood, expanding the vampiric lore. In 2021, a police officer stopped 24-year-old Luis Fernando Ceballos and Alexis Rodriguez, who was 27 years old, for reckless driving and gave them a ticket. 14 minutes later, the officer responded to a call about a fatal car crash. Both Luis and Alexis were involved and passed away as a result. Scary space facts that will blow your mind. In space, no one can hear you scream. Vampire stars can suck the life out of other stars. Black holes can consume entire galaxies and can even bend space-time around them. There is a dreaded space anomaly called the Great Attractor, with a gravitational pull so powerful that it can pull entire galaxies towards itself and collapse them into each other. The most realistic threat our planet faces is meteors. Staying in zero gravity for long periods of time can affect a person's physical and mental health. Extended space travel can change your DNA. On New Year's Day in 2010, at around 12:20 a.m., 4-year-old Markel Peters was killed by celebratory gunfire while attending church with his parents. The police stated at the time that the shot could have come from a mile away. These young people in Istanbul witnessed the 2016 bombing. The explosions were caused by a car bombing and suicide bombing in Istanbul's Beşiktaş municipality. 48 people were killed and 166 people were injured. Here are 4 random items that were found in the aftermath of 9/11 from the Pentagon and the Twin Towers. This is Hiroshima in 1945 compared to what it looked like in 2020. 78,000 people perished instantly when the US dropped an atomic bomb on the city of Hiroshima in Japan on the 6th of August 1945. Verfi Kudi gained notoriety after leaving her 20-month-old daughter alone for 9 days in a London flat, leading to the child's death in December 2019. Kudi pleaded guilty to manslaughter by gross negligence. In 2021, she was sentenced to 9 years in prison for her tragic actions. Approximately 200 to 250 bodies remain on Mount Everest, either frozen in place along climbing routes or entombed in the snowfields and glaciers descending from the mountain. This haunting image shows debris from the collapse of the Twin Towers on September 11, 2001, covering a cemetery. Julissa Thaler from Minnesota shot and killed her 6-year-old son, Eli Hart, just days after gaining full custody of him. She is now spending the rest of her life in prison without the possibility of parole. She was arrested in May 2022 when a caller reported that the car she was driving had a shattered rear window and a blown-out tire. Her son's body was later found in the trunk of the car. In 2015, Fidel Lopez ripped out Maria Nemeth's intestines and killed her after she screamed her ex-husband's name during intercourse. Lopez was given life in prison with no chance of parole. Joseph Zieler brutally did bad things to and ended Robin Cornell and Lisa Story after sneaking into a Cape Coral condominium in 1990 as the pair slept. Robin's mom, Jan Cornell, had gone to her boyfriend's house the same night when the murders occurred and left Lisa babysitting her daughter. She returned the next day to find them both dead. The case went cold for nearly 3 decades before Zieler was arrested on an unrelated matter in 2016 and had to give a DNA sample which tied him to the crime scene. In 2012, Noah Wall was born with just 2% of his brain, spina bifida, and hydrocephalus, a condition that causes a buildup of fluid on the brain. He wasn't expected to be born alive, and his mother, Shelley, was urged on 5 occasions to terminate her pregnancy. Miraculously, though, Noah was born and went on to completely defy the doctor's expectations. His parents were told that he would never walk, talk, or even eat unaided. But by the age of 3, Noah had regained 80% of his brain. Noah can talk, read, and has a keen interest in science and the solar system. In 2021, he underwent a 5-hour operation in an attempt to straighten his legs so that he can hope to walk one day. He hopes to follow his dreams of being able to score a goal on a football field. This doorbell footage from Pembroke Pines, Florida, shows the moment a single-engine plane crashed into Megan Bishop's SUV in 2021. Her son, Taylor Bishop, tragically died in the accident, as did the 2 people aboard the plane. This photo from 1953 shows 4-year-old neighbors playing in an asbestos sandpit in a residential backyard in Wittenoom, Australia. Residents commonly used the asbestos sandpits for their kids to play in. Philip Noble, on the left, grew up to be a footballer before passing away from mesothelioma at 36. Ross Monroe, on the right, became a high school principal and passed away from mesothelioma at 38. In 2015, a 4-year-old girl from Colorado called Naomi was at the park with her family. She wandered off and walked over a frozen pond and fell through. This image shows her footsteps as she walked towards the lake. Unfortunately, she didn't survive, and her cause of death was determined to be drowning and hypothermia. Carotenemia is a cause of yellow hands. This is often due to dietary excess, but secondary causes include hyperlipidemia, diabetes, hypothyroidism, eating disorder, and liver disease. Differentials include jaundice and Raynaud's phenomenon. A judge allows Christopher McNabb to choose his own sentence after he beat his 15-day-old daughter to non-existence and pretended that she had been kidnapped. McNabb and his partner, Courtney Marie Bell, were under the influence of crystal meth at the time of the horrific attack. In 2004, 11-year-old Natsumi Tsuji led her classmate Satomi Mitarai to an empty classroom where she blindfolded Satomi and slit her throat with a box cutter. Unsatisfied, Natsumi inflicted cuts on Satomi's arm. She then returned to her classroom, covered in blood, with the murder weapon in her possession. Natsumi was sentenced to spend 2 years at the Tochigi Prefecture Reform School, but a psychological evaluation earned her another 2 years in the school. She was released in 2008 after psychiatrists determined she passed her evaluation. This is what a prison looks like in El Salvador. It was a country once known for having the world's highest murder rate in the world, but now has the world's highest incarceration rate. Unbelievable scary facts that'll leave you speechless. The Russian sleep experiment is a disturbing fictional narrative about sleep deprivation. The Basement of Horror case involved kidnappings and abuse in Philadelphia. Coffin birth can occur post-mortem, expelling a fetus due to gases. Mary Vincent survived a brutal attack by hitchhiking after her assailant left her for dead. The Winchester Mystery House features staircases leading to nowhere to confuse ghosts. 5 unexpected scary facts that you won't believe. The Collier brothers were compulsive hoarders found dead amid tons of clutter. The Hinterkaifeck murders involved a family killed on a remote German farm in 1922. Albert Fish sent a letter to a victim's family detailing the murder. The dancing plague of 1518 saw people dancing uncontrollably in Strasbourg. Albert Gunnis lured victims to his farm, where he murdered and buried them. Eric Sprague, known as the Lizard Man, is a modern sideshow performer and body modification artist. Born in 1972, he underwent extensive body modifications, including tattooing scales, bifurcating his tongue, and getting subdermal implants. Graduating from law school, he chose an unconventional path as a professional freak and has performed in various circuses and events worldwide. Sprague's transformation explores individualism, body autonomy, and challenges societal norms, making him a unique figure in contemporary body modification culture. Annie Jones, the famed bearded lady from the late 19th century, had hypertrichosis, a condition causing excessive hair growth. Born in Virginia in 1865, she joined P.T. Barnum's circus at a young age, captivating audiences with her facial hair. While celebrated as a curiosity, Jones faced challenges navigating societal expectations. Her story reflects the eerie fascination with human differences during that era, turning her into both an object of wonder and a symbol of the sometimes unsettling spectacle of the past. 5. Unbelievable scary random facts you won't believe. The Rat King phenomenon involves multiple rats fused together by their tails. The Bunny Man is an urban legend of a man in a rabbit costume terrorizing people. Paris syndrome causes extreme psychological distress in tourists disappointed by the city. The Body Farm in Tennessee studies human decomposition for forensic research. Thanatophobia is the fear of death. 5 horrible morbidities that will stalk you every day. Ed Gein inspired horror characters like Norman Bates and Leatherface. Human decomposition creates adipocere or grave wax. A black widow spider's venom can cause muscle pain and difficulty breathing. Mary Vincent survived a brutal attack by hitchhiking after her assailant left her for dead. The Blue Fugates of Kentucky had a genetic condition causing blue skin. Olivia Farnsworth, a girl living in the UK, has chromosome 6 deletion, making her immune to pain, hunger, and fatigue. With less than 100 cases globally, she's unique in displaying all symptoms. A 2016 accident, where she was hit by a car, revealed her extraordinary resilience as she emerged unscathed due to her inability to feel fear or pain. In May 2019, Amanda Eller was lost for 17 days in the forests of Maui after a 3-mile hike turned into a harrowing ordeal. She set out on foot without a cell phone, food, or water, as she only planned to be out for a short jaunt. After venturing off the trail, she wasn't able to find her way back. She suffered from severe sunburn, leg injuries, and the loss of her shoes, but survived by eating berries, drinking stream water, and sleeping among leaves. After more than 2 weeks, a rescue helicopter spotted her atop a waterfall.